Ya ba 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 ba, ra pa pa ra ti ta pa, ya ra dam pa beep ba ba, ba 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 beep ba ba beep ba ba. You know what song this is? Anyone recognize this song? How about I sing a few words for you? Calling to the call-in show. Calling to the call-in show. You gotta call into the call-in show to call into the call-in show. Ba 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 beep. This is called scat, by the way. Ba 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 beep ba beep. Ba ba da da beep ba beep. Bop, 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 beep, bop, bop. Beep, bop, 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 bop. Yeah, I'm live. You're asking if I'm live because I'm beep bopping? What? Malky's here with her baby. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Thursday Night Call-In Show, where we call in and we have a show, and we do it on Thursday nights. Thursday night, also known as Leil Shishi, the sixth night of the week. Hi, Jaime. Looks very interested in what's going on. So what do I want to tell you? I have a headache. So actually, is it possible, could one of the PAs get me 3 Advil? Yes? Okay. And I know that's a lot of Advil, but that's how much I need. I need 3 Advil because I weigh a lot. In order for it to affect me, I need 3 of them. You guys know how much I weigh? A lot. David Goggins used to weigh 300 pounds. Then he became ultra marathon runner. I also used to weigh 300 pounds. But I didn't yet become an ultra marathon runner. Anyways, we're going to drink some Gatorade. Chaim v'lavracha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol na'eh b'devarim. Electrolytes. I was working out today. I got into my car. My son had been driving my car, and he put the seat up forward, and I had to scoot the seat back. And that was my workout. Beep bop bop beep bop bop. Beep bop bop beep bop bop. Bop 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 beep bop bop. Bop 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 beep bop bop. Thank you so much. You're famous now. You're internet famous. We're going to take 3 Advil. I want to ask you something about Advil. You know, I think it was like in my 20s before I realized that the drug name of Advil is ibuprofen. Is that how you say it? Ibuprofen? What do you say? Ibuprofen, right? What do you say? Ibuprofen. Ibuprofen? That's even wronger than what I was saying. It's, I say ibuprofen. Ibuprofen. Isn't that what everyone says? Ibuprofen? What? Yeah. Well, no, there's not an R. An ibuprofen. It's ibuprofen, but no one says ibuprofen. Everyone says ibuprofen. I wonder if it was a Palisher who started that. You know how they say like Kegel instead of Kugel? So someone like gave a Palisher an Advil, and he's like, what's this? They said, they said, it's ibuprofen. Ibuprofen. Then he should have said ibuprofen. Ibuprofen. But you want to know the truth? I didn't even know that Advil was ibuprofen and that Tylenol was acetaminophen until I was in my 40s. I didn't know how to pronounce ibuprofen until I was in my 20s, but I didn't know it was Advil. I knew it was one of the headache medicines, but I wasn't sure which one. It wasn't until I was in my 40s that I got it straight and memorized it, committed it to memory. Tylenol is acetaminophen. Advil is ibuprofen. Now, the reason we talk all this silliness at the beginning of the show is for a few reasons. One is to loosen you up. It's called Milsa de Beduchasa. Loosens you up. The other reason is you want to scare people away because, yes, we want to scare people away. Not scare them. We're not trying to jump scare. We're not trying to scare you. But we're going to get into some deep discussions. And we don't just want anyone coming along for the deep discussions. So what we do is we do a lot of silliness, and the people who can't tolerate the silliness, they get repelled. They get turned off, and they ditch. They leave. The White Stripes taught me about acetaminophen. White Stripes taught me about acetaminophen. Not sure the reference. I think it's like a heavy metal reference, but I don't know it. I'm not aware of it. I'm reading the chat. For the people who are going to watch the replay, you're going to be confused. I'm reading the chat right now. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I got to Google it. White Stripes. It says a rock duo. A rock duo. Okay. Okay. Acetaminophen. You see the medicine. You have no faith in medicine. Okay. I Googled it. I wasn't familiar with it. Okay. Great. Yeah. So I want to just mention a little product placement. We do have a campaign going on. We've had it going on now for 10 weeks. Can you believe that? 10 weeks ago, we started a 48-hour campaign. Rabbi, how's your brother doing? Creative Judaism. You're talking about my brother David. Well, he just had a birthday a couple weeks ago. How old is he? I'm 51, so he's 44. He's good. You should go check out his YouTube. Could we post a link to his YouTube channel, Creative Judaism? Maybe even, let me see if YouTube will let me tag him. Creative Judaism. Let's see. Anyways, that's his channel. I just ba 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 beep ba bo beep ba 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 da da dee da ba. You gotta call into the calling show. Gotta call into the calling show. Okay, do you see that link that I just posted? Okay, what's that noise? It was you? You see that? You see that? See that link? Charity.com/RST. That's our campaign. So listen, we're trying to finish this off. It's been going on for 10 weeks. 10 weeks. Okay? But now we're almost done. You see, it's a $600,000 campaign for our yearly budget. We're at $578,534. And everything's doubled. It's matched by matchers. So that means that we really only need, could somebody do the math? Can somebody please do the math? 600,000 minus 578,534. Okay, I'm going to write it actually in the thing. 5,708. 534. Okay. So please subtract 600,000 minus 578, 534. Okay. Equals, how much does that equal? Does anyone know? You like my song? Yeah, it's the theme song of the call-in show. It goes like this. Call into the call-in show. You got to call into the call-in show. Call into the call-in show. Call into the call-in show. That's how it goes. And then I do a little scat. Bop, 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 beep, bop, beep. Bop, ba, da, beep, bop, beep. Bop, 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 beep, bop, bop. Bop, 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 beep, bop, beep. Did anyone do the math? Okay. I'm going to have to do it myself. Beep, bop, bop, beep, bop, bop. What was the number? 578. 534 equals 21,466. Okay. Divided by 2 because it's matched, it's double. Okay, so here's the real thing. Bop, 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 beep, bop, bop. Da, bop, bop, boop, boop, boop. Beep, bop, bop, beep, bop, boop. Bop, 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 beep, bop, boop. Bop, 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 beep, bop, boop. We are $10,733 short of our goal because everything gets matched. It's all doubled. You think we could finish it tonight? I think we could, but you guys got to dig deep. You got to dig deep and do a recurring donation. Like if you do like $18 recurring, $18 a month recurring for 12 months, that's a lot of money. That all adds up and we could all be done. We'd be out of here. We'd be finished with this fundraising and I won't have to fundraise from you guys for another 9.5 months. Why do I say that? Because I would like to say another 12 months, but this campaign has been going on for 2.5 months. So what can I do? It's going to be, you know what I'm saying. We have our first caller on the line. Ba, 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 beep, ba, ba. All right, fine. So let's have our first caller. Hello, caller number 1. Are you on the line? Are you with us? Hold on. This is not working. You've been on
the other side of the call, so you don't know that there's a voice that tells you that you just got unmuted.
One second. What did you not do? You didn't do the, hold on. This is not my thing. This is not my normal thing to do. Ba 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 beep ba bo. Ba ba da beep ba bo. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, now it should be connected. All right, are you there? Hello?
On to the call, so can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Amazing. Okay, fine. First of all, I have a question for you, caller number 1, anonymous caller number 1. Do you know the call-in show song?
Yes.
Do you think you could sing it?
Yeah. Can I get some a cappella? No, I'm kidding. Call into the call-in show. Bop, 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 beep, bop, bop.
Oh, wow.
It's been stuck in my head all week.
That's, we consulted with,
yeah, tell me who you consulted with Menachem?
No, we consulted with some evil scientists to devise an earwig. An earwig is a colloquialism for a tune that you get caught in your brain. You can't get it out. So we consulted with some evil scientists, and we said, please devise for us the most annoyingly unforgettable little jingle. And we scientifically derived that tune would be, once you get it in your brain, it will never leave.
Can I share some actual science about that quickly?
Oh, you have some real science about that, yes. But I don't like the underhanded implication that my science wasn't real science, but go ahead.
No. Sorry. That was not my backhanded compliment. No. Basically, first of all, the story of the guys who did the Subway jingle, $5 footlong, is a brilliant story.
Actually, I don't even know about that. Could you tell the whole story?
Oh, yeah. No, they got signed. Like they got signed to do like commercial. They're commercial musicians. They're called. They make music for commercials, whatever.
Jingles. They're called jingles.
They.
But not
commercials jingles are more brands. But I mean, even like even elevator music. These guys, they're professional musicians, but they're not. They're not rock and roll stars. So. I believe the story goes that these guys
they're
as a
like
demo
Stripes.
of like they're not like Jack and Meg White. Yeah, they as an idea of like here's an idea of something that we're thinking along these lines. Do you like it? And it was the $5 footlong song. Like what they used to pitch the customer ended up being the hit. So that was cool, and those guys make
really
money off it. But
$5 footlong was like a
template. You know the $5 footlong?
I think
it was like $5 footlong in the Subway, right?
Yeah.
So that was just like, hey, we want to do this idea of like
an example.
The U.S. I don't know, the U.S. anthem. Yeah, it's same exact. Yeah, it was just an example of like, here's what we want to do: like one word, and then two words, and then the three words, and then the full sentence at Subway.
Mm-hmm. They weren't serious. They were just showing an example. Template.
Yeah, and exactly.
And then they said, "No, let's really."
And it worked. And that's it. And they got paid. It wasn't like, "Oh, we're going to steal your idea that you gave to us for free." They like actually got paid, and it was a wild success. But the intention behind it was just shallow. But that wasn't the science. The science that I wanted to share was that songs that get stuck in our head. And actually, this might lead into my question. Wow. Look at that setup. So songs that get stuck in our head. Yeah, he's very good at what he does.
Yes.
Don't tell him though. The
you might get to his head
when you have like an unfinished loop.
Yeah. Oh.
When you have an unfinished loop,
can I just let you know? Can you see me right now?
No. I like to watch, but I'm not because there's a delay.
Right now, please tell me why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. What am I doing, and why am I doing
myself?
Tell me what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Okay, thank you. Go ahead. Yes. So the frustration of anticipated payoff. Go ahead. No. Come back.
Sorry, I had to mute myself to go look at the camera. No, so basically, I don't know if they know exactly why we are the way we are, but I think it's that we naturally want to solve problems. Like human beings have a tendency to finish things.
Yes.
Or want to finish things. Like, I mean, ask my boss and he'll roll his eyes and say, show me what you've ever finished. But that's a different story. But I think we're problem solvers by nature, and an unfinished song is like should be the easiest thing to finish. Like all I got to do is listen to the last 10 seconds.
Yes.
But a good jingle leaves you wanting more. But yeah, and specifically calling to the call-in show because it's like, which call-in show? What are we going to talk about? What's going to happen if you call in? I got no information over here, so I need the rest of the song.
Yeah, it's really, it sounds like it's going to explain things to you, and it explains nothing. But I thought you were talking about musically, it leaves you hanging.
Yeah. So similar thing. Like, forget the data, forget the words. Also, in music in general, I'm sure it applies to an instrumental song as well. I'm not going to pretend like I understand music theory, but I'm sure there's some sort of, beginning, middle, and end to a well put together song. And if you get caught into the flow of, or whatever the artist was intending, I'm sure it leaves you hanging too if you stop in middle.
But this is your theory, or you learned this somewhere?
No, so I know that the trick, like the Reddit trick for getting songs stuck, like songs that are stuck in your head out of your head, is to finish the song. Just go listen to the whole song, and if you finish it, I'm sure there's some neuroscientists that commented on the thread. Yeah. Do I want to know?
Well, tell me afterwards. You know about cats and laser pointers?
Mm-hmm.
You know that cats enjoy chasing laser pointers. Do you know about that? Cats,
even though they'll never catch them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So cats are predators, apex predators, and they like to chase and catch little things. So they like to chase laser pointers. Now, I want to tell you something. Dogs, you can make a dog permanently neurotic by playing laser pointer with it, because they never get the satisfaction of catching it, and they can't let it go.
Right. Dogs need to kill and cats need to hunt.
So, right. I think cats are hunting just for the fun of it. But
right, they just need to hunt. They just want something. They need to flex that muscle. So dogs are looking to solve it.
You mentioned the Reddit trick for getting the jingle out of your head. So I think this was on Reddit. Somebody said that his uncle had like a really expensive dog. I think it was like a border collie or something like that. One of these really beautiful, smart dogs. Anyways, he did a laser pointer on it, and it got all neurotic, and it was like freaking out for days. And finally, they had to do the laser pointer and then throw a physical little, like a red jelly bean or something, on the floor at the same spot, and let the dog catch the jelly bean and eat it, so he could finally get resolution.
That's actually very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, good job, whoever figured that out. Yeah, it makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense. So
anyway,
what
so jingles are
really
cool.
Talk about?
But so I wanted to ask, really. So I and it's not like I have nothing to say about him, bad or good. But the guy that wrote the book, The Body Keeps the Score, which is, I judge people based on their books in their house. Like, I like to do that as an activity. And when I see that book, it's like, I'm proud of you, but also show me where it worked. Like, I'm happy you attempted to get some help, but like, for real. But
so if you go into someone's house and they have The Body Keeps the Score.
Yeah.
Immediately judge this person.
I usually know who they are, right? I'm not going to strangers' homes and looking at their collection, but my really whatever. So he said something this week that triggered a lot of people.
Who said? The Body Keeps the Score guy?
The guy, I don't know, some weird European name. Bessel, yeah.
Bessel van der Kolk.
Yeah. So he listen, like, should we give him the benefit of the doubt, or should we call him a loser? I don't know. But
what did he say?
He basically was at a conference, he said that as a kid growing up in wherever he was, getting bombed in World War II.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with other psychologists who had trauma from being born in war-torn Europe, but he basically said he compared it to like the kids in Gaza growing up in Gaza right now.
Okay.
And the audience took that to mean that he was calling the IDF Nazis.
Okay.
So they got triggered, and he kind of got quasi-canceled, and he got kicked out of this retreat, which he was like a long-standing speaker, etc. So he was just in the news this week, and they got me thinking, like, what really, 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 what is, from a person's avodah perspective, from Torah's perspective, from Chassidus' perspective, what's the take on? I assume the body does keep the score. I believe in the science of that, the physiological stuff.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. This is a interesting path toward the question. Okay. So you don't want to talk about it's just interesting, your conversational style. You broached upon probably the most controversial hot button issue in the world right now, but that wasn't even your point. You just kind of like threw it out there on YouTube Live and then you just keep strolling. Okay. All right.
Well, yeah, if people want to get triggered, I think people are entitled to feel however they want to feel. That's not the point.
I'm wondering if that's like, you're doing like a Norm Macdonald thing right now and being like ultra mad.
No, because I love Norm, but that was not my intention.
No, because you're talking about getting triggered and you're intentionally bringing up something that will literally trigger everyone in the world right now, one way or the other. Like you hit all the hot button words. You even said Nazis. Like you're hitting all the trigger words that will, like, if it is indeed true that the body keeps the score, right? You just push all of those neurological trigger points. And then
now I'm triggered.
Oh, by the way, what's with this Bessel van der Kolk guy? Like, okay, sure. And you're saying this is not calculated in any way on your part.
I don't know. It's actually funny because I had a conversation with someone this week, and he told me that someone I had met had given him a Nachas report, like, oh, I met your friend and whatever. So I laughed and I said, that's surprising because usually I trigger everybody. I trigger everyone.
Intentionally?
And no, not intentionally. People tell me, like, Ellie, you need to shut your mouth sometimes.
Okay, you just broke your anonymity over here, by the way.
I'm okay with that. Okay. It's anyone who knows who I am recognizes my voice and my style of speech. So that ship has failed. The proverbial cat is out the bag.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah. So it's very hard. Something I'm working on.
So you don't sensitive to other people
thinking before I speak.
Go through life unintentionally triggering people. And you find out only later, people tell you, hey, by the way, do you know you're triggering that guy? And you're like, no, I don't know.
Oh, no, my closest, dearest friend.
Right.
Forget strangers.
You're triggering me? I don't know. I just want to chat about Bessel van der Kolk. I wasn't trying to... rile anybody up. Wasn't trying to ruffle any feathers. I just wanted to talk about Bessel van der Kolk. I didn't mean to get anybody's...
It happens to be I have a very hard time relating to the physiological relationship between how you feel in your head and how you feel in your body. So maybe that's where the insensitivity comes from, but that's a different...
Have you ever been speeding in a car? Do you have a driver's license? Do you drive?
What if I told you my driver's license was suspended because of speeding? No, I'm kidding. It's not suspended. But can I tell you? I came to have you ever driven on the highway in Denver, in like the rural up the mountain type highways?
I don't know if precisely in Denver, but yeah, I know the Colorado. Yeah,
whatever.
The mountains,
so I was there a few months ago. Then they have 3-lane highways, and when the right lane exits, instead of the exit becoming a new 4th lane, it takes away 1 lane for a few hundred yards before the entrance of the lane comes back.
Okay.
So all the nervous Nellies in the right lane that are gripping the wheel, afraid to go out of their comfort zone to the speed limit, are in the right lane.
Right.
And all the control freaks who are also a different form of anxiety but need to project their version of reality on everyone else are in the left lane.
Yeah.
So I'm stuck behind a guy and I'm white knuckling the wheel trying to get to the top of the mountain before sunset. Mm-hmm. Finally, I get around this guy after trying 30 times.
Before sunset? Was it Erev Shabbos?
No. I was there for a conference, and I just wanted to see the sunset. I live in a flat place, so I just wanted to see the stars for 5 minutes.
So you were speeding.
And not have to drive in the dark.
You were speeding because you wanted to experience a sunset.
Yeah, on top of a mountain.
At the top of a mountain. That's poetic. Now, I don't know where your story is headed, but if you get pulled over and the cop says, "Where were you heading to?"
I did not. Thank God I did not get pulled over. I was trying to get to
the top of the mountain to see the sunset, man.
No, that's worse. I got pulled over in a Tesla, and the cop said, "Do you know how fast you're going?" I said, "Officer, have you ever driven one of these?"
That was my stoner voice, by the way. That was trying to get to the top of the mountain.
I'm not stoned, but that's not nice.
No, a guy who's speeding to try to get to the top of a mountain to see a sunset.
Yeah, is a stoner. Yes, in Colorado.
I would judge him like you judge someone with a Bessel van der Kolk. If I pulled over a guy and said, "I'm trying to get to the top of the mountain to see the sunset," man. But that's that
Have you
voice. You know where that voice comes from?
Yeah, that's what's it called? That's
No, you
come on, the two guys. What's their name?
Oh no, you don't.
No, I'll tell you.
Don't know. No, you don't know. You don't know. There's no way. It is the two guys.
Oh.
What is it?
I'll tell you.
I'll be so blown away if you know what that is.
Hold on. They're older. They're like literally old, in their late 60s or 70s. No, they have a huge weed empire from this. Just from this bit.
Yes.
Come on. I want to say it's literally it's not, but it's Beavis and Butthead in real life. Like it's literally them too.
It is.
I don't remember. Whatever. My father knows. I don't know. I'm too young, but I do know.
So should I tell you?
I know. I'm not Googling it. No, everyone in the comments is already saying it at this point. Like,
okay, it's Cheech and Chong.
Don't say it, and I'll remember it in a minute.
Cheech and Chong.
Yeah, so yes, Cheech and Chong
on the Gong Show, we will not get gonged. We're the Beastie Boys, not Cheech and Chong. Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, but why did you ask me if I was ever caught speeding? If I was speeding?
Oh, because you said you have a hard time. Okay, you have a hard time understanding how the body would be affected by your mental or emotional state. So I just wanted to know.
No, not understanding.
Sirens or
relating. Oh, of course. Yeah.
And what happens?
I'm right now. I'm sitting. Come on.
Right.
I'm on YouTube Live. Yeah.
Right. There's a physical reaction. There's a physiological reaction. So I don't know what you mean by you don't relate to the idea.
No, I'm talking about like daily anxiety.
When you were driving down the middle lane and judging the control. The nervous Nelly.
So I'm a left lane driver, right?
In this case,
I'm a left lane driver.
In the left lane?
Projecting my control, right? The nervous Nellies in the right lane are afraid of their anxiety limits them and forces them to go below their comfort zone. And left lane anxiety is forget you're 65 mile an hour. I got to go 80. I got to get there when I want to get there. I got to control the world around me.
Right.
And the guy in the middle lane is living his best life. There's no stress. He's calm. He's driving with his knee while he's listening to music and talking to his kids in the back seat.
Right. While he's going through his CDs, he's picking out a nice classical.
Correct. And eating a sandwich.
Not only eating a sandwich, he is building a deli sandwich. He's smearing mayonnaise.
He's tearing the mayo with his teeth. Yes.
Could you have me a pickle? I think they're in the Ziploc baggie over there.
Correct. So I'm in the left lane, stuck. Right. But so after the 3 lanes, well, really it happened before. It happened when I was in a 1 lane in the national park, and every time I try to go around this guy. Or it wasn't in the national park yet. But every time I tried to go around this guy, I couldn't. Another car was coming the opposite direction. Finally, I get around him. I pull over to off the highway to literally the last gas station before like Radiator Springs, like that show, that movie Cars.
Yeah.
It was like, that's where I was. And I pull up to the red light.
I was in the movie Cars, man.
And this guy pulls up right next to me.
There was an anthropomorphic car, man. It was a tow truck.
They had the gas station. They had Mater. They had a Mater.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'm at the red light, and this guy that I spent 15 minutes trying to get around pulls up right next to me.
No. The guy with the sandwich.
Right?
Yeah.
He finished his sandwich. He lost his hands.
Yeah.
Right? So on my way back, I realized, like, okay, fine. If you literally, so, but if you sit in the middle lane, at the end of the day, it's a safer, it's a more comfortable experience. There's no liability. You're not speeding, and you're going the speed limit. You're going the speed of traffic, and you're going to get there at the same time as everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no need to speed.
It's deep. It's a great vote.
But that wasn't my point. That wasn't. Yeah, it is cool. It is. Anyway, it was a cool point.
Okay, I think you have your high holidays.
But that wasn't my real. Yeah, but I want to know. I want to know the truth. What is the Alter Rebbe's response to when you physically feel the way you feel in a moment? How, like, is it your Nefesh HaBahamis? Is it your Yetzer Hara? Is it?
Okay, so now we're getting.
Do you engage with it? Do you ignore it? That's what I want to know.
Okay. Okay. So let's back up here. You want to talk about the body's response to anxiety in the context of what Tanya or Chassidus Chabad says about Mayach Shalta Alev. Is that what I'm trying to interpret here?
Maybe Mayach Shalta Alev is a good angle, like that story that we all grew up on about the Napoleon spy and the Chassids.
Yeah. No one listening to this knows that story, but that's great to talk in cryptic shorthand.
So say the story. It's a good story. I'm sorry. I can't be the one to say the story.
There was a chassid named Moshe Meisels who was a polyglot. He spoke many languages. And as such, he was able to be hired by the French army during the Napoleonic Wars. But he was actually spying for the Russians because his Rebbe, the Alter Rebbe, the first Rebbe of Chabad, was very vehemently opposed to Napoleon. As an aside, many of the Alter Rebbe's colleagues, the other Hasidic masters, were very in favor of Napoleon because they felt that he would give the Jews in Europe equal rights. The Alter Rebbe said that he would do that, but that it would cause assimilation. So it was better that the Tsar should continue to rule. At any rate, so this chassid, this adherent of the Alter Rebbe named Reb Moshe Meisels, he became a spy for Napoleon against Napoleon for the Tsar, and he was in the war room looking at some maps, memorizing the maps, and he was listening to the general's plans. And as he was looking at the maps, all of a sudden Napoleon himself came into the room, and he said, "This guy is a spy." Now, he didn't know for sure he was a spy or not, but what he used to do is he thought someone might be a spy, he would accuse them of being a spy. And then what he did is he put his Napoleon put his hand on this guy's heart to feel his heart, to feel if it was beating the way a guilty person who's just been accused, the way that their heart beats. And Moshe Meisels was able to control himself because the Alter Rebbe's, one of his primary teachings, it's actually originally from the Holy Zohar, is Mayach Shalta Alev, that the brain rules over the heart. And he was able to rule his heart. And that's a famous story. I always think it's interesting that people, when they tell that story, like you say, it's a famous Chabad story, what they failed to point out is that normally when we speak about Mayach Shalt Halev and Tanya, if you learn a basic Tanya lesson, learn about the brain rules over the heart, what we mean by brain rules over the heart is that you can intellectually choose to exert your free choice and to behave in a way that is counter to your emotions, meaning you can have an emotional desire, an attraction to something, but if it's prohibited according to Torah law, you can use your mind to control yourself, to curb your impulse, meaning to not act on it. But in this story, it actually is describing something very different. It's not just to resist an emotion, not to give in to an emotion, but it was actually to cause himself to not even have that emotion. You understand the difference? One is a person who has an emotion, but he denies it expression as a behavior. Here, he didn't even allow himself to have the emotion, which is much deeper. Much deeper. And when people tell that story, I don't think they often highlight the precise mechanics of what that story depicts. At any rate, yes. So what's really the question here? Tell me. You don't have. By the way, you don't have to have a question. You could say, "I just wanted to."
No, it's okay.
Wanted to chat.
I want to talk smack. Yeah, that's fair. That's true. I mean, excuse, but no, for real. I'll tell you something that I read years ago, and I couldn't find for a long time. I still, maybe with ChatGPT I can find it, but basically there's a scientist in Australia who has a theory, and hopefully he proved it by now because I've been repeating it too much, but he has a theory that the way we all see the world, and this we know, is through our own filters of reality.
Yeah, no
kidding. Every experience we experience.
Of course.
Tell me about it, right? So,
who's
but
this
every
Australian
experience you experience adds a layer.
Serious?
I don't know. No, stop. For real. So years ago.
You know who Yahoo Serious is?
But no.
No.
Should I?
I don't know. I mean, you'd have to be my age to know who Yahoo Serious is. He was famous for about 6 months in the 80s.
Oh, he's actually Australian? Nice. Yeah. Wow, he's 72? Good for him. And he played a scientist. That's crazy. No, so this guy, so a lot of people make fun of him because he sounds nuts, like when you hear him talk. But basically, he's some sort of brain scientist, and he was looking at how the autistic brain has a very hard time connecting points, connecting dots, and using past experiences to engage with the world in the future, where a neurotypical brain knows when it sees a tomato, it remembers that it doesn't like tomatoes, so it doesn't try the tomato again for the 50th time and spit it out.
The autistic brain sees a tomato and eats the tomato.
I'm not saying a tomato, because that's
of
bad,
eating the tomato, he's like, "Oh man, I totally forgot.
I don't like tomatoes.
I hate tomatoes. Yeah. Why am I doing this to myself again?" That's basically his theory.
So his theory is that a true genius,
Yahoo
what
Serious,
separates them from everybody else,
played Einstein,
is their ability.
Genius.
No, so this scientist basically wants to know if what made Mozart was his ability to not be limited by the pattern recognition that a normal person develops, and then limits their abilities by reacting instead of acting. And by the Alter Rebbe, if you can change the way that you see the world, it changes the way you react. So I want to know if it's all the same language, if the practical avodah of changing the way my body feels is by changing the way I see the world.
Wow.
But meanwhile, just as a side, the scientist in Australia, what he was doing was he was shocking people and testing them and seeing that after shocking them in certain parts of their brain, they were able to solve problems more efficiently and strategic problems more efficiently because they weren't limited by their reactive part of the calculation, like system 1, system 2, and muscle memory and all that behavioral science, where, you know, most mistakes are made when we rely on our what's the word for, like, not impulse, but like when we rely on the things that we are good at and consistently do, almost like muscle memory, that's where we make mistakes. But when you're forced to think, because it's a new equation,
right,
you don't make mistakes.
Right. You get lulled into that like hypnotic trance. But that's also like the flow state. That's where you're like you're most brilliant.
Flow state is where you have both systems engaged. So that's why walking and talking helps, and listening to music that you know already allows you to focus. Because if you engage your system 1, your system 2 is free to run wild. But if your system 1 is overwhelmed, like, have you ever done this experiment on yourself? If you walk slowly, you can talk and do math. But if you start moving a little quicker, jogging, it becomes harder to think. And if you run, like if you ran a full sprint right now and tried to do a basic math problem, you might have to stop and think. If I would do a full
sprint, I would not be able to do 2 + 2.
Right. Because, and that's the point, is that but if you get system 1, which is, I'm totally blanking, but we all know what it is. It's just like it's just like animals have it. It's automatic. Like a deer is born, it knows how to walk, right? It's that part of our brain.
Deer, they just start walking. They drop out and they just walk away. What's with that?
But that's almost like,
why do humans
nature versus nurture,
long to learn how to walk?
Because that's already, I don't know. God made us complicated. God made us dependent on our mothers. Sorry, Bambi. But no. So, but I wanted, for real. Don't enable my ADD. Like, you're supposed
I'm not only enabling your ADD. I think I am egging on your ADD. I'm having a field day with your ADD.
I'm happy you're enjoying. So, but I want to know. So for real, I want to know. Like we have a son, Kanana, and it's almost his upsharnish.
Okay.
And he's amazing, and everything that I teach him, he picks up like a sponge. Okay. To the point where he's already a better Jew than me. So one thing that I wish we took more seriously, maybe, and I'll blame the schools, but before we go to bed, we don't really think about our day. We don't think about the mistakes we made, the things that we did right, the things we did wrong, how we felt, how we reacted. Did we think before we spoke? Did I say something and hurt someone else's feelings? Did someone else say something and I didn't stand up for myself and communicate how I felt? Those are all things that are not hard to practice if you have someone to guide you.
Mm-hmm. You're talking about a cheshbon hanefesh, a spiritual inventory. So are you saying that you do a spiritual inventory with your almost 3-year-old son?
No, but I would like to start in some capacity so that when he's my age, he is a gangster. Like I think there won't be any trauma if you heal it all before you go to bed. And I think that's the point of Kriya Shema in the siddur, not saying biyadcha and going to sleep.
Yeah.
But I maybe we weren't taught the tools, or I was spacing out when we were taught how to do it. But
okay,
I think that you like.
I'm listening to you now, and I'm wondering why the Bessel van der Kolk was necessary.
Oh, It wasn't necessary. I mean, because I wanted to make fun of him for triggering a bunch of people at a trauma retreat, to be honest.
So that's what you should have
said. All of a sudden, I don't feel so bad anymore.
Should have said, hey, get a load of this. A guy goes to a trauma retreat.
I did in the email.
Triggers a bunch. Oh, I didn't read your email. But you should have said it like that, like a real Borscht Belt comedian. Hey, get a load of this. A guy went to a guy was the keynote speaker at a trauma convention, and he triggered everybody in the place. But I'm bummed.
Yeah, and he's spoken there every year for 20 years. But nice. No, I heard that. But yeah, it's also whatever. I'm not going to make fun of the people for getting triggered, but there's humor in that too.
Yes.
The last time you did that, you asked the nice caller if you could do that.
I wanted to trigger you. I wanted to force you to have a physiological response. I wanted to cause you distress.
Reaction.
I wanted to cause you distress.
So that's another thing.
Finally grasp this concept. And now the body keeps the score. And now, every time you're walking down the street, you're going to anticipate just suddenly, abruptly hearing an air horn.
I'm not. The air horn's cool. I'm a big fan.
You like the air horn?
Yeah, absolutely. No, but it reminded me. Oh, so that's the other thing. The other thing is that I can't control the way things make me feel, right, but I can control the way I respond.
Yes. That's basic Tanya. I can't control the way things make me feel. That's what a Bainani of the Tanya is. I can't control the fact that I look at the non-kosher sandwich and I salivate. I can't control that. But I can control my behaviors.
Right. Are you familiar with Brene Brown?
Yeah, I heard of her. I'm not like a big expert in her.
So, oh no, you're good. So
she has like some TED Talks.
Whatever. But well, that's maybe what put her on the scene. But she put out 5 books before the TED Talk. But she's big on vulnerability, the healthy way.
Yeah.
And I had this question, like, if the Torah theoretically wants me to have absolute emunah and bitachon in Hashem, right? Absolute faith and trust in Hashem that everything is good, then and nothing can hurt me. Then at the end of the day, how can you be vulnerable? What can hurt you? But then I saw the Rebbe cried on Gem. Right? Literally like Gem. 2 seconds after.
On Gem.
Yeah, like on Gem. Yeah. The Rebbe did it. Yeah, I'm not going to say Chatzon, whatever. But, well, I literally like a second later I saw it. And I'm like, okay, so clearly I'm full of baloney, but there is something to it. Because at the end of the day, who do I know in the history of ever that had more emunah b'tachon and knew why everything happened? So it must be that you can have absolute faith and trust in Hashem, but still be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And then whatever, do some research and you see that every time he cried because of our suffering. So that just made me an even bigger yacht. But that, I think, so that goes to, but then what? So at the end of the day, if it just boils down to you can't control the way things make you feel, but it's all about how you respond, then how do you respond when your body is getting in the way of a healthy or response in general?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna decide. I'm going to choose to consider this your official question, only because I would love to.
Yeah, you could have done that 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I could have, really could have. But I would love to bring with you all night, and but I'm being told that our next caller is waiting, so I'm forced to wrap this up. But listen, you've got a free pass. You could call in. You could become a regular caller if you want. Okay. So let's say your body is having a reaction. You're being triggered by Bessel van der Kolk or whatever it is. Right. So the question is like, where does the free will come in? Where does the brain rules over the heart come in? And I think the answer is, unlike the story of Moshe Meisels, who was actually able to override the physiological response, I think that the avodah of Chassidus, of Tanya, is that you will have the physiological response. Your body will be triggered, and yet you write it out. Breathe through it, whatever you got to do. Shev al tasa, just sit there until you're ready to behave in a rational way. So I think discretion is a better part of valor. I think sometimes you got to just wait it out before you're ready to make a move.
But don't engage with don't toggle, don't wrestle.
No, you can't. It's impossible. It's not a product of a thought process, and you can't override it with a thought process. No, it's an automatic thing. You didn't talk yourself into it. You can't talk yourself out of it. Like, for instance, you can take a thought and you could perseverate on that thought until you work yourself up into a real state of anxiety. So that's something you talked yourself into it. You talked yourself into it. So you could talk yourself out of it. But then there are other things that it's an automatic response. It's a stimulus response. There's nothing you can do about it. It's automatic. You're going to feel it no matter what. The question is, after you feel whatever it is that you're inevitably going to feel, are you capable of waiting until you're in a position to make a good behavioral choice? I think that's really, I don't know if that answers your question, but at any rate, that's what I'm going to.
No, it's good. I'm good with it.
Good enough.
I can live with that.
Okay, this has been a blast. I really appreciate
Until next time.
All your stories. And
I appreciate your support
my
and enabling.
And facilitating.
I'm going back to being a listener.
Okay.
Thank you.
Gewaldig. Okay. All right. We have another caller, a patient caller waiting on the line. Okay. That was Ellie. He outed himself. He already identified. That's Ellie. Okay. Thank you. All right. So do we have the next caller on the line? Yes.
Hello.
Oh, hi. Hi.
How are you?
Thank God I'm doing well. How are you doing?
So I have something that's sitting heavy on my heart. I would really would appreciate your wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Before I do so, I would like to segue and say that's ironic because I actually have a daughter who's named after a shiur that was given based on a study by Bessel van der Kolk. So
really,
it's funny
that
he came up so much with
ironic?
the list. Yes.
That is so ironic.
So
okay.
One of her names is Sapir, and Sapir has to do with healing trauma and all the whatever. I'll send you the shiur.
Really?
Anyway,
Sapir has to do with healing trauma?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, there's a shiur by Dr. Pelkovitz all about Lignata Sapir and the footstool of Hashem's throne, and seeing it and illuminating parts of the brain by speaking. It's a whole
the sapphire brick.
Yes.
Under the throne of glory. Yeah.
At the end of Mishpatim and Shmot. Anyway.
Wow. That's cool stuff. Okay.
It's really cool stuff. Anyway, so that's my segue.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what's sitting heavy on my heart, and maybe you could guide me. I'm almost nervous a little bit, but I'll get choked up during this call.
It's an emotional thing. So I'm not going to make jokes about it. Yeah. Okay. So this is a serious thing.
It's okay. Maybe that's the way the Jews got through everything.
Oh, maybe we should
make jokes.
Okay, maybe we should make jokes about it. Okay, fine. But we're talking about something very serious here. Okay, let's hear it.
Okay. So I'm going to start with my tachlis question, and then I'll build upon it.
Okay, no problem.
The question is, when you have a child, it's funny, I don't cry. I'm like getting choked up. When you have a child who has a backstory, is it advisable to share it with the teachers in advance of school, at risk that perhaps they'll get be stigmatized before they even get through the door without being given any benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
And if you should speak to the teachers, how do you do so? And now I guess I'll fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
I have a daughter who's amazing. Like she's really great. She was always like the girl that everybody's like, she's your daughter? She's so nice. She's 7 years old. She was my one kid who I never got phone calls about. Like literally never.
Right.
Last year, by the third day of school,
she didn't have that.
I was
okay. I mean,
right, but I'm saying like
7 years old without ever having to have the school call.
Teacher family.
I'm saying if you make it to 20
I'm saying,
and the school never called your parents, then that's okay, but whatever. Okay, she made it to 7 without ever having.
No, what I'm saying is in my family, like all the kids are ADHD, all the kids have all these different things and they love to pick on them. Already from the time that they're 2 years old, it's like, your kid's not standing correctly there. She was the one kid that like I always got knocked.
That's a big deal. To make it in your family, to make it to 7 years old without school having to call home, that's a big deal. Okay, fine. Got it. That little piece of information told me even more than anything else you told me so far. Okay, got it.
The parent-teacher conferences always were not hot. Thank God. It was always like she's very like. I actually once called many months ago about her, and I said that she was advanced, and you joked that many like mothers always think their kids are like very, very bright.
Yeah.
Like she was reading from the time she was like turning 5. Like she gets the point very quickly, and she actually reminded me of like things that you talk about today because she was listening to my phone call in the car with my husband, and she guessed what my husband was going to say after he expressed the complaint. She's like, "What he's going to say? Oh, but it's going to work out." Like she gets the point already. Anyway, by the end of the third day of school last year, I already was called in. It was a third day of first grade. I was already called in for what I call an ambush meeting, where it was like, Mrs. So-and-so, please get your child a para or get them out of this school. Yeah. And they called me and they said, how did they handle her last year? And I said, you know how they handled her last year? She was fantastic. And they didn't believe me, and they called the head of the early childhood center, and they said, why didn't you send in any like notes on this kid? This kid's a psychopath. And she said, what do you mean? Like she was a pleasure. She was the girl who always offered her snacks. Now I know there's a big adjustment from pre-1A to first grade. You know, there's like, especially if you're like out like an ADHD kid who's academically inclined, you have the movement in your day in pre-1A where you don't have that anymore. Right. But she was given no benefit of the doubt. And ultimately, I had shared with you in a call many months ago that, like, for example, the story where, like, she went to, on the second week of first grade, she went to take something from the teacher's desk that she thought belonged to somebody else with the intention of doing Hashavat Avedah. I don't know if this rings any bells to you, and it's fine if it doesn't. But
yeah, I remember
she was, like, yelled at in front of the whole class. I got a phone call back. Like, I got a phone call, like, your child's the only child at the end of the second week of first grade that doesn't know all the class. So meanwhile, I don't feel like I have any ally in the school, and yet I've always been extremely respectful. I've never, God forbid, stirred the pot. I don't have any interest in creating more problems in my life. Hashem blesses me with problems. I don't need to look for problems, and I'm not a confrontational person. I've always been extremely respectful. I've always been 10 steps ahead. If ever they've said to get my kids, like, evaluated, I've always been like, she was already evaluated last week. Like, really, I'm not... it's not like I'm driving the car with my eyes closed. And now she's telling me that she doesn't even, she spent a lot, second semester of first grade was either spent at home or every single day I got a phone call, please come pick her up, or she's not allowed in the class tomorrow. She spent a lot of time in the hallway or at home. She refused to go to school. Now, we're not talking about, I hate school, I'm like driving late. I'm talking about like not willing to go to school. The teachers were not Dom the Kaschu. They gave her no benefit of the doubt. The teachers really were not nice, and they really did not have her best interest at heart. They looked for fault. I believe that like there was like narcissism at play. Like her personality is really big. Like she would be great on Broadway. And I think that the teacher was intimidated by my daughter's like personality. Yeah. And was nervous to be like, and that her cupboard would be like shut out. Yep. So basically, we got her class assignments for this year, and now she's saying she doesn't want to go to school because she knows the team, because this teacher moved from first grade to second grade, And she knows that she was very strict last year. And my daughter, they kept saying tough love, tough love. And I kept saying, no, you're going to break her with the tough love. And she felt like the authority was on a power trip. And I kept saying, you have to just be nice to her. I think I shared this story also last time, that like on the first day of school was art class. She was a perfectionist. She made a mistake. She asked for a new paper. They said no, because if you ask for a new paper, she felt like there was no one, like it was all falling on deaf ears. The school did not take initiative with her. There was no behavior plan in place. It was just, they really they would look at her with like disgust. Now we looked into switching schools. It's not really an option for us. I'm really dominating with my whole heart. This year, please God, Hashem will take true compassion on us and just make it a really good year. And it will be like a tikkun for what we experienced. And I say we, because it was really tremendously painful for me as well. I had her home all summer. It was amazing. And the best part of it, other than really enjoying being with her, was that I didn't have to wait for that, like, the doom of that phone call. Mrs. Whatever, please come pick up. I don't want, I got to just go do fun things, go nature trails, whatever it was. And now we're about to start the school year. So the question is, what do I share with her teachers about stigmatizing her? I want them to give her a fair shake. And what if the school already stigmatized her? And the other question is, how do I get her to school? And also, this is her wholesome religious setting, so to speak. I feel like they're really ruining my child. And you could say, oh, she's only 7. I think I once said this to you in a different call. I feel like there's a category of, there's like at-risk youth, and then there's at-risk for being at risk. Like, she's the at-risk for being at risk. Like, really bright, understands everything. Her talents are not appreciated in school. She actually is an assistant counselor in a Chabad day camp this summer on the Fridays, because they felt like, I knew that it would be like good for her. I'm close to the person who was in charge of it, and had her come and she would help set up Shabbos party and bring the kids inside and whatever it was. She needs like leadership positions. She's very helpful in the house. I have many younger children. But if it's always authority, strict, no love, it will break her, because she doesn't like that. Like, why are you in charge of me? Like, that's a little bit hard for her. And I just don't know how to handle the upcoming school year, aside from her being so like worried about going back to school and honestly against the idea. I'm also terrified, and I know you would never say this, but it's not that I don't have, God forbid, faith that it will be good. It's just my journey with each of my kids has been very, very difficult, but with her in particular, it took me by surprise, and I think that was part of what was so hard, and that there was no leeway, and no one believed me that she was one A++.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm done with my question.
Okay. Yeah, I hear every word. And I understand why this is painful on many levels. So my question to you is, it's really actually pretty simple. My question to you is, yeah, it is. It actually, it really is. It really is simple. It's not complicated. Are you prepared to cut your losses when you see there's no one to talk to? What I mean by that.
What does that mean?
Okay, I'll explain what I mean by that. You're asking,
if you don't mind,
should I give the teacher the backstory, or will it blow up in my face? And the
idea, I would want partnership and say, listen, she had a tough year. Please be easy on her.
So here's the deal. There are good people and there are not good people. I don't want to say that they're inherently not good people, but I'm saying, like, whatever, in their current state, they're not people you want to trust too much, right? Now,
right, and how divided I didn't feel that way.
Okay, so here's the thing. Somebody who's a compassionate person doesn't even need to be told the backstory. Somebody who's not a compassionate story, it's not going to help to tell them the backstory.
What you just said is brilliant.
Really?
If they're nice, they're going to be nice always.
Right.
It makes sense. If they're nice, they're going to be nice always. They don't need to be taught how to be nice. And if they aren't nice, then it's going on deaf ears, because you can't change like a...
So this is what I'm saying. When you realize that you have someone to talk to, then you have the ability to fine-tune the approach and make it right for your daughter. But if you see that there's no one to talk to, that everything you say is being deflected or dismissed.
That's what happened last year.
Right.
Every time that I said, I understand that you were like, you punished her today, but tomorrow when it happens, why don't you instead say like, why don't you say like, oh, it's good that you did one question. If you can do a second one, that would be great. I'm so proud of you for doing one. Not, you should have done number two. Like, all you did is number one.
Right. So the question
and
is,
said, no,
if you see
approach.
that you're in a situation where there's no one to talk to, are you ready to cut your losses?
What does that actually look like? I understand what the words mean, but if I feel there's no one to talk to, then what?
Well, you told me the summer was nice.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Thank God.
So I'm talking about summer all year long.
It's funny. I joked that before I had kids, I wanted to homeschool, and then I had kids. That's the joke. I'm not like counselor, division head person who makes like, let's learn about puzzling dishes. Let's go to the lake and learn about something. Like, I try to do things very hands-on, and in theory, it would be very nice. But I also kind of want her to have. I don't say I want her to be part of the system because I don't need that, but I want her to have a good taste from religious institutions.
Stop.
Because
Stop.
they make an impression.
Stop.
Go ahead.
Stop.
I'm stopping.
Say that sentence again slowly.
I want her to have a good taste from religious institutions.
Let's dwell in silence on the ramifications of that statement. Anything coming up for you?
This is one of those situations where I'm not sure what the right answer is.
There's no right answer.
What's coming up to me?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what initially came up to me.
Yeah.
So I have called in the past, which I referred to, or which I referenced. I'm going to thank God, what did you call it? God willing, a coffee cake lady?
Coffee cake
I'm the
lady?
God willing, a coffee cake lady.
Oh, God willing,
I don't remember a few weeks ago, there was a God willing, a coffee cake lady.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
Hi, it's me, the God willing coffee. And honestly, I'll tell you, a little bit what's coming up for me is, I'm not Chabad, but we have, something I really love is in the Spice and Stir, the Lubavitch cookbook, there's a letter from the Rebbe about how important, like, running the home is, and how, like, making the food is important. And part of that is coming up from, like, it's okay if she's not okay in the institution, because I can get, like, the home can give her that. On the other hand, I guess what's coming up for me is, like...
Well, I half agree with that.
I mean...
I agree with the fact that the pleasant, sweet experiences of living Yiddishkeit in the home with your mother, I agree, that's invaluable. It's so powerful.
Like matzo ball soup Jew, like that. Like people who sit and have a good, like, I think that is very important, and the story is told through that.
But what I would say is the part that I don't agree with was when you then jumped and said, so as long as she's got that, it's okay if
But that's the part that I don't agree with either.
So why'd you say it?
I'm saying, but it's hard for me as someone who...
Let's back
on the one hand, I think that's tremendously important. On the other hand,
you said, I wanted to have a positive taste from religious institutions.
Correct.
Okay, I mean, to me, this is just very obvious that the inverse of that statement is then I would obviously go to great lengths to avoid her having a negative experience with religious institutions. In fact, that would probably be my zero tolerance issue, that if I felt she were going to have a negative experience from a religious institution, that would not be something that I would just tell her to to tough it up and to persist through, because that is a formula. You say at risk of being at risk. That's not even at risk of being at risk. That you're even beyond risk. When a child is told, we're sending you to a place that represents God, represents Torah, represents Judaism, and they're going to traumatize you and disrespect you, but there's nothing we can do about it because we have no choice. Our hands are tied. You're beyond risk. It's not risk anymore. That's
we offered her to go to another school.
That's religious trauma.
We offered her to go to another school, and we tried a very out-of-the-box school that was only has 8 kids in it, and she went there for the day, and she was really she said a day later she was like a star. She loved it, but she didn't want to go there. And then when we brought up the idea of going there permanently, she was so against it that when we brought her back for a second interview, she wouldn't even walk in the building. And after an hour of standing with her in the lobby area, she ended up leaving. So I don't know how to even I know I'm the parent.
Yeah. But if she's so deep and insightful like you claim, then I think you could explain to her and say, listen, we got 2 options on the table. We got the regular school that you feel like is normal and you're not stigmatized by going there. It's just okay. Everyone, this is a regular system. But I think you're not going to be treated respectfully this year. Or we have this alternative situation where I think that you will be treated nicely, and you're going to have to live with the fact that it's not a normal thing. I would give her that choice. Because honestly, if she says, all right, you know what? I'm accepting, I'm going to go to the mainstream place, and they're going to treat me poorly, then at least she's a little bit more mentally prepared for it. But if she is being sent...
I also said to her, you don't need to tolerate... I said to her, in other words, I want to send you to a place where they, really appreciate you, and you're,
But by
and she still wasn't interested. I think it's a difference.
You can't tell a kid, you don't need to put up with that. But they do. When you send a child to a school, they are forced to put up with whatever treatment they get. So it's parents... I'm going to say something very, very people are going to get mad at me for saying this, but I don't care because no one's going to even hear this because it's after an hour and a half of bizarre ranting and Cheech and Chong jokes. So no one's going to even get to this point in the video. Parents send kids to school and out of sight, out of mind. Once I can get them on the bus, thank God, I can breathe a sigh of relief. It's done. I succeeded. Hooray. Everything's fine.
That's not my day.
Not fine.
So not my day.
It's not fine. It's not fine that if a child is going to a situation where day in and day out, they feel persecuted, they feel stigmatized, not by their peers even, but by the adults that they're supposed to be taken care of by, that causes real harm on every level. So you can't tell a kid,
so for now,
I'm going to send you to a place where they're going to mistreat you, but you know what? Don't put up with it. What do you mean don't put up with that? What choice do I have? I'm going to have to put up with it.
No, I'm saying the opposite, though, that I offered her to leave and she didn't want to. And I said to her, that there is a better option. And she,
that's what I said.
Adamant that maybe
if at least it's a discussion. Now, it sounds like you're saying you had this discussion already, but I would have it again.
Yes.
At least it's a discussion where she can think about it and make a deliberate choice, and she can say to you, I'm ready to go into this war zone. Then just by virtue of her making a choice, she will be more mentally prepared for being in that situation.
Well, what if I'm in a situation right now where she's made that mental choice, but now she has to, if they come in and proposes and then they actually have to get married,
right.
Now she actually needs to go to school on Wednesday, and now she's telling me she won't go. And I want to just reiterate, I'm not talking about a kid who's school's over. I'm talking about a kid who, she would, go on, a hunger strike, she puts her money where her mouth is. If she says she is doing something, she does it. If she says she's not doing something, she's not doing it. She's unwavering, and there's only so much you can combat that. So now she made this decision, and now we're registered for this school, and now I need to get her on the bus. And I don't know what to do.
That's why I go back to the original question I asked you, which I said, "Are you ready?" What was the expression that I used?
Cut my losses.
Cut your losses. Yeah.
Cut my losses.
Yeah. Thank you for remembering the idiom that I used. Yes, cut your losses. And that means option 3, which is, okay, so there is no school that's the right fit for her this year.
And then teach her at home.
I mean, I guess that's the logical conclusion, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I still feel ill at ease, although I'm worried, I guess, about myself.
I want to do one more
thing. Go ahead.
Someone who doesn't have the ability to walk away from the negotiating table will always make a bad deal. Someone who's forced to make a deal will always make a bad deal. The only way you will ever get a good deal is if you're ready to walk away. It's in business, it's in love, by the way. When one person is ready to leave a relationship, if they don't like how they're treated, and the other person will never leave no matter what, then that other person, the one who will never leave no matter what, is going to be mistreated. They're inevitably going to be mistreated, or they're going to accept treatment that they shouldn't accept. So it's in business, it's in love, it's in everything. If you can't walk away from the negotiating table, then you lose. So here's the thing. I think the fact that parents are terrified of walking away from a school that's not serving their needs, that is a big part of why children have terrible school experiences. And that if you're ready to walk.
So I'm not terrified of it, though.
Well,
I am ready to walk. She's not ready to walk. I'm my whole body out the door.
Okay. Good. So if you're ready
there's
to
a little
walk,
bit more to it than that. Also.
So then you're okay. If you're ready.
Then there also needs to be a place to receive you. Meaning, she's already stigmatized, so it was hard to get her into one school. There was another school that wanted to take her, but the tuition was
but
much
it's going to be hard
expensive.
to get it. Yes. But you're coming from a family where everybody. You said she was the world record breaker that she got to 7 years old before the school called about her. So all of your kids are going to be a challenge. Do you understand that?
I know. God thinks too highly of me.
Did you? No. It's the nature of school. It's bizarre. The whole school thing is bizarre. 100 years ago, nobody went to school. The whole thing is artificial and against nature. And now we're forced into this situation where we basically have to look. School is only good for about 5% of kids. About 5% of kids who do well in school, that it's actually totally beneficial to them because it suits their personality. Everybody else, it's like literally like it's this marathon. It's this gauntlet. It's running the gauntlet. You know, like the punishment, like the medieval torture, the running the gauntlet. You're running through, like there's 2 lines. There's a line of people on either side of you, and they've got clubs and chains and whips, and they're hitting you, and you got to make it through the gauntlet. You got to get to the other side. Yeah. That's what schooling is for like the vast majority of children. It's running the gauntlet. It's like, can I make it to the other side without being destroyed? Anyways, I'm going to delete this whole episode because I'm not in the mood to deal with the backlash from everyone's gonna. I heard you say on YouTube that school is like getting beaten with a chain. No, I didn't say that. I said for 90% of children.
I think so. I doctor think. You know, I'll tell you what I think. I think that so many people relate to that. The 95% of people listening to your show that are 95% relate to that experience, whether it was socially or academically. So I think it made sense. I'm just trying to balance between, like, there's another level to this. It's not just school into itself. It's not just math. And, like I said, it's the religious experience.
Yeah.
I want her to feel like she's appreciated and like she belongs.
Right.
And that's what ultimately terrifies me. That's Chas v'shalom, Michelle, like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That we're making problems that don't need to be.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
That's my biggest fear.
Right. So, if, like I said, if you have someone to talk to, meaning if whoever's her teacher this year actually is compassionate, then you'll know. And then you'll be able to survive this year in school. But if you find a person...
Can I ask the question that makes me obvious?
Yeah.
Based on my original question of should I talk, should I call them before, should I not call them before, what you're saying is that let the school year start. If they're nice, it won't even be necessary, and if they're not nice, what's the point of even talking to them? So right. I shouldn't talk at all.
Yeah, basically.
So right now,
I want to tell you something. I want to tell you something. I mean, this is such a sad thing to have to teach you, because basically it's me passing on my cynicism to you. But I'm gonna tell you something. Most people cannot be trusted with personal information.
I didn't hear what you said. Most people cannot be trusted?
Cannot be trusted with personal information.
Okay.
Yeah, the previous caller was talking about Brene Brown and vulnerability. Okay. Anyways, most people are not worthy of being vulnerable in front of. In fact, most people will weaponize your vulnerability. And, you know, if you feel like you're tough enough to handle that, that's your prerogative, but you're not allowed to do that to your child. You're not allowed to share your child's vulnerabilities with someone who may weaponize it. So what I'm saying is... That's
what I'm so scared of.
Well, then you got your answer right there.
But what if they shared it amongst themselves? Like, there's a new administrator. What if the old administrators went over to her and said, watch out for this one, she's a real toughie?
You'll find out. You'll find out within a week.
Hi. Daven for me.
Yeah. Okay, we'll daven for you.
Please. I'm so scared. I wish I wasn't scared.
Yeah. Well, nothing to be afraid of. You're going to go through it, and whatever happens, happens. You'll deal with it. Whatever happens, you'll deal with it. You're going to be okay.
I just always have to deal with so much. It's not, I guess, like, this, I have to deal with it with all of my kids. It's not like there's ever a dull moment. And that's like, I can't just focus on her. I have to focus on everybody. And because of her, other kids fell through the cracks last year. Like, I had a baby, and I wasn't even able to feed her because I had to keep going to the principal's office.
Yeah.
So I will deal with it. It's just not easy. And
yeah,
it's tough already.
Yep. Yeah, it is not easy, but you will deal with it.
Mm-hmm. All these people are so eager for school to start.
I know.
And I'm like, and I laugh at them. Like, you're so lucky that you put your kid on the bus and you see them and they come home at 4:30.
In all fairness, a lot of these people who are eager for school to start are clueless about what their child's experience of school is, and don't want to be clued in.
I'll take that, I guess, as a compliment to myself.
Yes,
thank you.
Yes, you should. You should. Yes, you should take it as a compliment. It is a compliment. Yes. Okay.
I also just want them to know that I'm really trying. And as much as they call me and they tell me they spend my money for me with professionals, I'm really trying. And I wish that it was seen that she's also trying, even when she's struggling. Mm-hmm. If she's biting her tongue for an hour, it's an hour that she bit her tongue, and that's a mile, that's
mm-hmm.
whatever. Anyway, I'm sure you have other callers. So.
Yeah. Okay, listen, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's all going to be good.
And Beira, it has to be good. So,
yeah. Okay, lots of nachas.
Thank you very much.
Okay, my pleasure.
Amen.
Okay.
That's from Sarah Aga, right?
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's true too. Yes. Yeah. But I'm not wishing any Agra on you, so. I mean, I'm not wishing any Tzara on you. You could have the Agra without the Tzara.
I mean, okay, good.
Yeah, you could have the Agra without the Tzara. Okay.
Thank you.
Be well. Okay.
Thank you very much. Have a good Shabbos.
Yeah, good Shabbos. Okay. All right. Wow, that's intense stuff. I don't know. I'm probably going to delete this whole episode. First half of it is me doing that stream of consciousness with Ellie. The second half of it is me comparing schools to being whipped with a chain. Yeah. Calling to the calling show. Okay. Do we have any more callers? I just got a text from Yisrael. There are no more callers, GFYI. Oh, okay, fine. There's no more callers. All right. Well, that's fine because I'm tired. Listen, if you enjoy this content and you want to support SoulWords virtual community that reaches millions of people every month, please donate. Like we say in Chicago, vote early, vote often. Please donate. Charity.com/RST. Can I pin that comment? Just pinned it. Okay. You see that at the top? Charity.com/RST, 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 charity.com/RST. Please donate. Hey, you could do it. You could do $1,000 recurring monthly for 12 months. You could. Someone out there could. Or you could donate $1. That's fine too. Okay. Any donations that come in the next 5 minutes, 5 minutes, because I'm signing off in 5 minutes. I'm tired. Any donations that come in the next 5 minutes, we will donate if the mic will be repaired. What's wrong with the mic? What's wrong with the mic? Someone's writing in the chat with the mic. What's wrong with the mic? You don't like the mic? I think it's on your end. Because I'm listening on headphones. Everything sounds fine.
You are current.
The new studio? You mean the one that I'm not at? We're working on it. We're working on the cables over there. We're dealing with it. Anyways, so if you make a donation right now, I'm going to read your dedication, as long as it is not offensive or inappropriate. Okay. So please donate. Charity.com/RST, 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 charity.com/RST. Please donate. And any donation that come in right now, the next 4 minutes, I will read your donation, your dedication, your comment, and you will be internet famous. Okay. I don't see any donations coming in yet. I'm refreshing the page. Okay, no. Something came in half an hour ago, but I don't think it was connected to this show. Charity.com/RST, charity.com/RST. Yeah, ma 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 ma. This is always the song they sing. I think this is also one of the theme songs. This is the closing theme. Yeah, ma 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 ya da 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 da. Ya ma 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 ya 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 ma 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 oh ya na ma ma ma. Yisrael just texted me. How's your headache? It's 90% gone. Thank you. Thank you for the 3 Advil, for the ibuprofen. Did help. Definitely helped. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ma 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 mamoyu imezag shavayim sham ata v'yatzia shel hineka. If I go up in heaven, there you are. If I go down into the pit, here you are. Bam 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 ba-da-dum bum ba-da-dum bum 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 bo bee bitty bitty beep ba 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 bee bee ba 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 bee da dum bam 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 ba 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 da 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 ba. I'm looking at the comments right now. Oh, it was the sprinkler outside my window. Yeah, what was that? That was a thing that actually happened. Yeah, someone was like, there's interference, there's noise, there's static on your mic. Oh, no, it was the sprinkler outside my window. Does this happen every Thursday night? We try to do it every Thursday night, yeah. We try to. Please share the jokes. Refuah Shleima, Mayan Amuna Chaya Bas Chana Leah. Should have a Refuah Shleima Kreva. Complete and speedy healing. Thank you for posting that. Okay. Oh, we just got a nice donation from Sam Singer, Dr. Sam. And I love this comment. In honor of all Jewish moms. That is so special. And I think it was probably a response to the previous caller. I think you heard the genuine, I don't know what to call it, the heartache of a Jewish mother. That was a beautiful dedication, and thank you for the donation. Generous donation. Ellie says, it was me, the sprinkler. You were the sprinkler. Check the donations. Okay, I'll check the donations. Check your driveway. Oh, yeah, I'm checking the donations. Oh, Mia, $5 double to be 10. Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah, Mia, I recognize the name there because you're writing in the chat right now. Gavaldic, thank you. Okay, and also Tobias, $50. I always love your talks. Thank you for all you do. Okay, that's awesome. And then Ellie, next year in Tahiti. I got a treaty with Tahiti because I own 1%. Today I was on Instagram. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on a second. Today, one second. Yeah, hello. You know how it's etiquette to tell someone you're on speakerphone if you're in the car and you say you're on speakerphone? You're on YouTube Live right now. Yo, hello. You're on YouTube Live. I don't hear you. Hold on a second. I don't hear you. What's going on? Let me just make sure that the Bluetooth is working. I don't know why I don't hear you. Should hear you. I don't know. Should hear you. Hello. I don't know. Try again. I'm going to hang up. Try again. Okay. Ellie says next year in Tahiti. That is a reference to the Antipodes. Baruch Hashem. We've spoken about that before. Let's just take one more look, and then I got to go. I'm tired. I'm so tired. So tired. Okay. No, nothing more. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. What's up? 1 second. Hello. Why do I not hear you? 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Okay. Hello?
Hi, Rabbi Taub.
You know that you're on YouTube Live right now.
Okay, thank you for telling me.
Okay. All right. I'm very tired, and Yisrael just texted me. He said, end the show. You're tired, because he knows I'm tired and I'm sloppy. So I'm going to do this quickly. Yeah. Yes, sir. How could I help you, sir?
So was that Ellie before?
Yes, Ellie, yes.
Yeah, it was great. I liked it.
You liked it? I thought it was fun. I thought he was a lot of fun. I got some comments. Great. I got some negative comments in the chat, but I think those were just jealous people.
Yeah, I always have those types.
Yeah.
But that was good. It was great.
Yeah.
So I'm calling about two things. I'll just lay. You could choose which one you want to respond to. No connection. I'm watching the YouTube Live and read through the description. It says if you have a topic to discuss, please email info@soulwords.org, which I did. Yeah. And we will give you the call and number. I didn't get it. Fine.
Okay.
Then it says Ahoot. Dot. Ahoot, period. I Googled it, put ChatGPT, no one knows where it sent the screenshot. I'm like, what could that mean? Ahoot. So what's that? Number one.
Yes.
Yeah, Ahoot. What is Ahoot? Is that a typo? Is that deliberate?
Okay. So I'm going to tell you a little bit, not everything, but it was not a typo. And it was spelled exactly as a hoot is spelled, A-H-O-O-T. Some people spell it. So you know what it is.
I want the Chassidim to know.
Okay, you want the Chassidim to know. All right. Yeah, so that's correct. You pronounced it perfectly, actually. Yes.
And then the second question is, and this is a real question. I don't know exactly. I never learned this. Maybe I did see this, so I don't remember. I know the Rebbe spoke about something to be very sensitive about non-kosher animals, like not showing them and not, especially, so like, a wolf, a beer, anything not kosher, obviously a chazer. That's okay. That even, but I think even like a wolf, a deer, and a donkey, things that are not kosher animals, we're very careful not to show it. And I saw someone on X.com, he has a handle, Hamaven Yovin.
Yeah.
And he writes, he's like, basically, I'm not going to say word for word.
It's one of those Twitter lates him.
Yes. And he brought up a good point. He's like, you have Aryeh Leib, Zev Wolf, Dave Bell. These are all wolf, the beer. These are named of Jewish children in Hebrew and Yiddish. Like Aryeh is a lion, Leib in Yiddish is a lion. These are usually paired together. So you can have any. Bad parents be like, please don't give any stuffies of trace animals to my son, Aryeh Zev Dover.
Yeah.
So, and I thought that was a valid point. It actually got me thinking. And then it triggered thoughts like, hang on, I know that we do have like on a Parechas in many shows, you'll see like two lions, on Shabbat in the Vilna Gemara even, there's a lion. And so I'm just wondering like what's up with that? Like kosher, not kosher, like not kosher, but we put it in Parechas.
Okay. So first of all, I just want to tease a little bit here that it is.
In Pirkei Avos, we do say, by the way, he's got the Kari.
Yeah.
All
in the Shulchan Aruch, yeah.
Yeah.
Als Kenomer, Gibakari, Kal Kenesher.
Right, and also like the war in Israel was Kilaviu Kari Yoku.
Yeah.
Am Kilav. In Am Rashi.
It's Bracha of Bilam, yeah.
Yeah, Lachte for some mitzvahs.
Yeah.
We can get specifically
Many of the Shvatim are compared to animals.
Oh, that was
the brachas of Yankov Avinu and Parshas Vayechi.
Yechi. That's what I believe. Rabbi Yitzchak's Torah at SoulWords.org/Chaf57885. The Gemara in Chagiga Daf Samad Beis explains how going the extra mile is what? She says, sure.
Yeah.
Say Lamad Meshuk Shel Chamarin. And I believe Yitzchak says that these Shuk Shel Chamarin is not Stam Meshuk about the 10 parses and 11 parses, it's double the price of 10. It's Chamar. Is Chamar L'Masoi. But that's why the Mashal is Meshuk Shel Chamarin. Dafka. Yisachar Chamar Gorim. Like it says in Vayechi.
Right.
Perek Memtes. Sukkim verses 14 and 15.
Very good.
Which, by the way, you can still download SoulWords.org for Chaf5785. You can download the study companion, or I can actually send it, which I sent, by the way, Rabbi Taub.
Yeah.
So I manage your WhatsApp account.
Okay.
On a monthly basis, and I don't mean to plug, but I posted if anybody wants a hard copy, feel free to message me. And I sent out today 20 in the mail. It cost me $1.25, and I decided that was my little stopfus, and I sent it out to about 20 people, 25 people. I don't know exactly. No, 20 people about $1.25. I did it. They're going to get it in the next 2-3 days. Most of them actually were even in New York. There was one international. Mm-hmm. International was $250. Mm-hmm. London. And the guy's like, "Oh, I'm happy to pay for it. Here's my Tati's number. You could get my bank. He has my money. You could get the money from him." And so I was like, "You don't have to." And I was like, "It's okay, but if you want his," I said, "Here's my info. You could just have your Tati, send the money." And then he's like, "No, I have this other things I need to talk to him about first." It seemed like there was a lot of trauma there. So I just deleted it, and I said, "Never mind. It's all good. I'm happy you got it, and you'll get it soon and enjoy it." Anyway, the point is the animals. Kosher, non-kosher, it seems like on one hand they play a role in Judaism. On the other hand, it seems like it was like, don't show it yet.
So I was about to say, I wanted to tease a little something, which is we're not going to talk more about the hoop because we revealed part of it, and that's enough to reveal for now. Correct. You revealed the pronunciation of it, by the way. It's like the Kohen Gadol saying the Shem HaMeferish and Yom Kippur. Eventually, they had to stop doing it because people were misusing it. So you revealed how to properly pronounce AHOOT, and I hope it won't be misused by people who have the wrong intentions. So your question, I just want to tease this for a second. That there's a possibility. I heard a rumor of a Sichas Shir maybe starting after Simchas Torah.
Yeah, Bereshis.
Starting from Bereshis. Base Bereshis.
Yes, I spoke to Kahas. We're on it.
Okay.
Actually, spoke to Rabbi Shmuel Yapson. Sichas in English now. We're all
Gevaldik. Good. Okay, so here we go. We're looking at Lekutei Sichas Chelik Chof Hey. Chelik Chof Hey. We are on, if you want to follow, if you have a look at the Sichas home, page 309. Mi Sichas Oir L'Chof Cheshvan. Tavshem Mem Daled. Okay, this is Chof Cheshvan, 1983. Correct. Okay. Kan HaMokim Lahaskir. Azach. It's interesting. Is it in Yiddish or in Hebrew? Kana Mokim Lahaskir sounds like it's going to be Hebrew, and then it says Azach. Azach, was behot gehert von Rabbi Seina Nisieno, und euch move besvarim. Now is the place to mention something that we heard from the Rebbeim, and it's also brought in Svarim Bahaktim. Kama choivreis v'itoinim V'chayetze bohem. Designing. Yeah, this is talking about magazines and newspapers. Seine begleit mit Ziurim oder Tmunis mit dem, was me will zu ziehen noch Menschen oder noch Kinder. They have pictures that are meant to attract people or children. Und zwischen die Ziurim seien euch da mit kama v'kama timim Ziurim von Behemais v'chayes v'oifes v'chol. And for whatever reason, for many reasons, many of these pictures, these images, are images of animals.
Right.
Is a davar nochen?
That would be like if I would include a picture of the Chamer in the study companion available at soulwords.org. /Chaf-578.
Correct. Is a davar nochen beyeser as mazol nutzen?
Yeah, I have the PDF. I pulled it up. As mazol nutzen nar tziyurim utmunis from behemoths v'chayes teheres, evis v'dalgim teherim. That it's most appropriate that we should only use illustrations and pictures of animals and wild animals that are teheres. Mm-hmm. I see there's a footnote number 1, okay. and birds and fish, sea life that is tahor. Okay. So the Rebbe, and it says Rebbe, jede befragt, jedes Kind darf sein eingewöhnt nur bedwarim teherim. A Jew, and especially a Jewish child, has to be eingewöhnt, only in holy things. Right, yeah. Used to, accustomed to that.
Accustomed. Oh, that's a good word. Okay, but hold on. We need to do ha'ara number 1 because that really gets to the heart of the issue right there in the very beginning. Okay.
Can you share the PDF on your screen?
What?
Can you share the PDF on your screen so the student can follow?
I could put it in the. Oh, could I share it?
No.
No.
The way you do it at the SoulWords house.
No, I can't do that. I don't know. Yisrael, is there any way to share it here? I don't think so. I don't think I could share it here. Okay. Umasha Metzino, let's do ha'ara number 1. Okay, let's go through it. Let's unpack it.
That's why, by the way, you know, the SoulWords house has features which you do not have in your garage.
Correct.
Okay. Go slow. Yeah, but I was really following along anyway.
Yes, they are. And you'll make a clip later.
Tziyure pnei Arye, pnei Nesher, ala pareches daran kedis, while me'ir me'il, because of the Sefer Torah, and this that we find in many
This
schools.
is a question. In other words, this is a question.
Yeah.
And your person might challenge and say, you never just said, when you're putting out newspapers and magazines. Right. And this that we find.
You may ask, why in shuls do you see, exactly like I just asked, animals such as a lion and eagles on the parachas of Aron Kodesh and on the mantle and on the crown of a Sefer Torah?
Yeah.
Which I believe the Rebbe, by the way, a deer is kosher, no?
Deer is kosher, yeah.
Yes, I believe on the Mashiach Sefer Torah, the Rebbe B'tafka wanted a deer. The reason for this is, what's the pshat? If we just now said this, says Rebbe Kipasha is the Hatzkel the Hechech Atfila with Seven Lashem Be'efin the Giber Kadi. It's Pasha. That's the reason for that is to remind people as a visual reference that tefillah and davening and serving Hashem in general has to be Giber Kadi. Like it's Katcholas Reish Kitz Shulchan Aruch. Tur Shulchan Aruch with the Admar Zakin and the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch, and it's taken from Mishnah, the end of Perek Hey the Avos.
Yeah.
So the Pashas, that's the reason for it. Says the Rebbe. Okay, but still, how does that fit with the Rebbe just now saying there's a nutzen nort tziyurim tmunis from behemoths chayes teheres the chaya Aryeh and a Nesher are not. Go ahead, Rabbi Taub.
Perhaps we can say. I'm going to blow it up a little bit because it's hard. Hold on, I got to blow it up. Trying to make it bigger. Perhaps we could say Al derech hamerkava shaba pnei Arya pnei Nesher, that it's similar to the merkava. What merkava? not the Merkava tank. The Merkava, the chariot of Yechezkel. It's the vision, actually, that is the Haftarah of Shavuos, which corresponds to Matan Torah. Why? Because it's a Gilui Elokus, a high level of revelation. There was a chariot. This is the image. It's not a real chariot. It doesn't exist anywhere. But it's in the image, in the vision of the prophet. You saw the chariot, and on the chariot there was the face of a lion, the face of an eagle. Although, that's, I don't want to get into a whole side discussion, but that zoo rabbi Slifkin. Yeah. So he says the Nesher is a vulture. That's what he said. Doesn't matter. Point is, whether it's an eagle or a vulture, it's not kosher. Okay. So you could say perhaps it's like the Merkava, where it has a lion, it has an eagle, and then there's a little star, little asterisk, and you go to the bottom of the page. Should we do the asterisk now, or should we come back to it?
Let's go back to it.
Ulahoyer, ma'kush v'abir b'chsidis, Torah Oyer, Megillas Esther, Tzadik Gimel, Seif Ahmed Gimel. So if you look in Torah Oyer, the Alter Rebbe's Torah Oyer, where in the section of Maimorim on Megillas Esther, Uvekama Mekemis, and actually it's in many places, Madua ha'arya v'aneshesh b'merkava. Why is there a lion and an eagle or a vulture on the prophetic vision of the chariot? Lahavdil chayis tameis hein lamate be'ilam hazichel. That how do we break this up? Lahavdil chayis tameis hein lamate. Yeah, okay. That in its shoyrish, I think that's what it's saying. That in its shoyrish and its spiritual root above, it's very, very lofty. And this is what Chassidus explains. And then when it comes down very low, as Behemoth Tameus. Benegeyat Yurim de Chayes Tameus al Kama Mahadigolim Dashvatim. Okay, so first of all, regarding the images of these impure animals, some of it is to invoke the principles that we say that you're supposed to be like these animals. You should be strong like a lion and swift like an eagle and all that. And the reason is because these animals represent the Merkava. So animals that are in the Merkava have a certain spiritual virtue to them that we're supposed to emulate. And what about on the images of the flags of the tribes? B'midbar Rabba Parshas Perek Beis Zayin Mavor Sham Shekol Tzir Hoya Kosher Im Tchunas Hashevet. All of these images were connected to the personality. I don't know if you'd say the personality of a shevet, but characteristics. Beautiful characteristics of the shevet. Umuchach, italics. Le shevet ze davkets here the chai mesuyim. Because they had these properties, they had to have muchach. They had to have this shevet had to have that particular animal.
What do you say? So you say the ones of the Shvatim and Merkava basically is an exception, or like bottom line? Are we allowed to? Is that what it's saying?
Yeah, that's what it's saying. Nachash, by the way, is done.
Exception, but it's exception, but it sounds like it's giving a reason.
Let's do the.
Asterisk.
Let's do the asterisk. Okay. Urei, Beis Yosef, Latour, Yeredeya, Seif.
Yeah, I see. This is not for 11:37 Eastern Standard Time call. I see the Rebbe in the next thing. He says in the Medina over here, there's different things which are connected with a mouse. I think that was referring to Mickey Mouse. I'm not joking.
So there's Mickey Mouse. There's also Elamenu had Mendel the mouse. And Mendel and
right.
Elamenu actually was going bankrupt, and they came to the Rebbe, and the Rebbe gave them money from Americas to be able to continue.
I heard about that. The Torah Masora.
Yeah.
How much a Torah Masora?
Yeah. And then they had Mendel the mouse.
I think they even. I actually asked them about it. I once had a meeting with them. I was trying to get them to sell my Visual Life and Torah projects.
Yeah.
So he mentioned about the square luchas, the round luchas. Like stop. He just pointed it out. So, like, it triggered the Chabad Shebekirbi. I told him the story. I said, is it true that the Rebbe gave? So he said, listen, I haven't been around since then. I think it was Rabbi Klein. But he said, listen, the Rabbi Yael from Satmar also once gave. I'm pretty sure he said that. So he said, I'm not surprised. If the Satmar Rebbe gave money to Elamenu, then for sure the Rebbe would. Because the Satmar Rebbe was a bigger Tanai. If I remember correctly, this is not what David Davis. So, Elamenu, speak about Elamenu, the Chaga. So,
anyway, so.
We're still alive, right?
No. We're still alive.
Yeah, I have to behave.
Yeah.
Yes, I see it's actually quite geschmack. And here the Rebbe says also that people have their signatures, the stamps have even animal of a lion. I think it's a sikh of Chav Chesron Tashmim Dal. It has to do with parenting. Chav Chesron in general.
It's a very interesting thing that, yes, that many of the Fabrengens Chav Chesron, which of course is the birthday of the Rebbe Rashab, the fifth Rebbe of Chabad, many of the Chav Chesron Fabrengens have an arichas, a lengthy exposition on principles of chinuch, of education.
Theme is parenting. Interesting.
Yes, it's a very common theme. Parenting.
Don't you have a parenting course every time?
Yes, I do have a parenting course. We had over 2,000 satisfied mothers and fathers who have been through the parenting course.
And you're not putting it into a book yet, huh?
No, not yet. Not yet.
You got to milk it for it.
You got to milk it.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
The reality is,
very different.
The book would be very different. This is an immersive experience. It's a 6-week course.
I know. You have interactive.
It's interactive. Yeah. It's a whole thing.
I heard you're making interactive now in person at the SoulWords house.
Nobody knows that yet, but you just revealed it, that we are going to do an in-person option. We're going to explore the possibility of an in-person option.
That's going to be a premium, though.
It's a high-ticket item. We're going to have a separate. I mean, we did this online, and for sure we'll do it in person as well. Separate men's and women's groups.
So this actually looks like a type of sukkah I would want. It's like a very fundamental. I mean, very famous thing about the Rebbe.
Yeah.
About kosher animals.
We have to do it properly.
Gotta do it right. We have to
prepare it properly. Pull up all the sources. Wouldn't that be nice? Pulling up the sources. You could pull up the.
Split screens, show it with the whole handbook. Yeah, we could do that. Evergreen. I like that.
That would be evergreen, by the way.
It would, of course. It's a very fundamental sukkah. What's pshat? It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take a sukkah and really lay it out nice.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we should do that for the Rebbe's Haggadah, maybe. I'm thinking also. Rebbe's Haggadah, 60 years, actually.
Yeah,
that's the whole Haggadah.
A lot of people don't realize that, the Haggadah was really the Rebbe's first sefer. And as you mentioned, 60 years. Not 60 years, 80 years. 80 years.
80 years, right. Hayom was the first sefer, Toshin Gimel.
But that's the Rebbe taking from the Friedrich
Rebbe. Was more of a liquid. Right.
So.
Even though there was a lot of chachma in that officially as well.
Yes.
I think the Felix Rebbe commented, I think Abishal Leib commented about it also. And people don't realize the depth of it. It's not just a liquid from the Felix Rebbe's Pizgamen, Sikhs and letters. There's a lot of depth.
Right. Yeah.
So we revealed parenting, we revealed the weekly Sikha, a little bit of Ahut.
Yeah.
Discuss that who's a different time. Okay. Okay. Parenting, weekly shikha. What else? Any programs coming up at the SoulWords house?
I don't know.
I saw your status today. You had a nice group.
We had a group from Akron, Ohio. We had a nice group from Akron, Ohio. Yeah, Baruch Hashem.
Yeah. Post that picture on Instagram so you can see.
Yeah, and I tagged Moshe Sasankin, who is the rabbi who brought them. Baruch Hashem. Oh my goodness, I'm really wiped out, and I got to learn Rambam still.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually okay. I'm not gonna hold you. Thank you for taking the call.
Yeah, we'll properly do the sicha sometime. We really should. I think it's it's evergreen. It's evergreen.
I can imagine. I would imagine also the hair probably has a nice.
Call Yossi and ask him if he has something. Yeah.
I'm sure he has something on it.
Yeah, but we should do something.
Great content. The hair is great stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna.
Thank you. Thank you. I look forward to the next good stuff coming up. Thank you for doing this on a weekly basis.
My pleasure.
And by the way, the campaign, I see your mama is almost there.
We're almost done. We're almost done.
Yeah.
We're almost done.
About 10,000 left.
About 10,000. That's it. Yeah. Not even. 581.
We'll get it.
Well, before we leave, let's just do the math real quick. I'm just going to do my little calculator here. 1 second.
Yeah, this morning you sent out an email and you broke it down basically like different strategies how to reach the goal.
581 330 minus 600,000 is 18. Okay, divided by 2. Okay, we need $9,335. That's it.
9,000?
9,335. 9,335. 9,335. We're just we're in 4 digits now. We used to be in 5 digits. Now we're in 4 digits.
So if we divide that into, let's say, $36, so you need 259 people. But if you do it over a certain amount, okay, you have a whole email blast. I explained everything. Okay.
All right.
People do it.
All right. Thanks for the call.
Thank you. Good Tavach. Good Shabbos.
Yeah.
Good Kodesh. Talk to you.
What a beautiful call. Such a nice call. Someone's writing in the chat, "Hi, Rabbi, big fan. I always learn a lot from you. It drives me a little crazy that there are many tangents from callers. If someone calls in, I wish they'd get to the point. I don't have patience." So I just want to share something with you. Usually the call-in show is like people call in with like deep issues and I like try to cut to the heart of it. I didn't do that pretty well sometimes with Hashem's help. Tonight, I just wanted to kind of just, I don't know, just chat. So it was a little bit looser. I hope that's okay. It's just a little bit loose this time. Just, having fun. Just having fun. I hope that's okay. Okay. We're going to end the stream. Thank you, everyone. Don't forget, charity.com/RST. Charity.com/RST.